Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VGWA. I'm Cobrettie.
And I'm Walley.
And make sure to like and subscribe to get notified of all our content featuring wrestling video games. I want to see a wrestling game with wrestlers. I think Sega stinks. I think Kenny Kuman stinks. I think Matt Mania is embarrassing. And I think the VGWA stinks. In today's episode, we will be reviewing Tag Team Wrestling for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Wow, another NES game to review, but this time it is Tag Team Wrestling.
In 1987, Data East brought this game to U.S. shores.
They made a great decision on this one to bring it to the United States.
As one of the first third-party titles released in the United States, this caused some confusion back in Japan, as Tag Team Wrestling was released by a different publisher, Namcot, in Japan.
Well, I'm glad for their confusion because we got an excellent game in the United States.
Maybe in Japan, they were hoping the game was being re-released as the special edition version.
A special edition version? There must have been some way of getting this out.
These copies were only available by entering a sweepstakes.
There has to be something special about this special edition that was released.
The special edition had an expanded moveset, and gameplay was more influenced by the arcade hit.
You know, that is very cool that it was an arcade hit and transferred to the NES.
And since Data East had released the game in the arcade, there was a small hope that this game would be the special edition.
I hear all the dreams being crushed right at this moment.
So let's watch a commercial.
スピード、技、これがプロレスゲームの決定版。空想してから寝てください。タッグティームプロレスリング4月2日発売。
Sunshine, lollipops, and tag team wrestling is what I think about when I see this commercial.
Wow, great singing, Cobrettie.
The insanity and controlled mayhem of wrestling was adequately captured in that commercial.
This commercial reminds me of the Zelda theme music with a crazy Alice in Wonderland background trying to sell you a piece of gum.
Let's start this review by discussing the roster. Selection is sparse, with there only being two tag teams, and one of the teams is only available in the two-player versus battle.
I'm guessing you can pick only one team. And here come the baby faces.
The Player 1 team is the Ricky Fighters, consisting of Ricky and Ultra Machine.
And now introducing the heels.
The Computer and Player 2 team is the Strong Bads, consisting of Mass Cross and Whirly.
Whirly? You know, I'm not really feeling as that's a heel name.
The non-existent character selection was a welcome sacrifice for an early generation Nintendo game.
There had to be a reason for only 4 characters. Maybe some added moves?
Instead of your standard 5 moves of doom, each player had 8 moves and 1 distinct finishing maneuver.
That is great to see so many moves within an NES game. This had to have felt massive at the time.
The chaos of your matches were no longer restricted to the square circle. The action could now be brought outside the ring.
Finally, another zone to wrestle in.
With the ability to ram your opponent's head into the ring post and smash their head with the ringside bell.
Interesting fact about the bell. It only shows up when both wrestlers fall out of the ring at the same time. And now you know.
The sound design for this game was phenomenal. How can you not get pumped listening to that song?
To me, that song drives the game. And when you hear it, you know you're playing tag team wrestling.
And digitized speech for the ref's 3 count on a Nintendo system?
When you listen to his count, each number is emphasized. I really think that's where the came from.
The hit collision for this game is often criticized, but I personally found no issue with it.
I have to agree. The hit collision was actually really good in this game. I was very impressed for the era.
The mechanic of striking your opponent to initiate the grapple and being able to select your moves from there made the game feel more like a wrestling match and less like a brawler.
Even with the punches being more active so you can select your wrestling move, you had to be timed, and you could actually spam this on the outside of the ring.
The character models were fair for time of release, but totally got blown away by later Nintendo releases.
Design may have not been the greatest, But as you continue through, your character changed colors to add a little bit more flair within the game.
And the animation was laughable at best. I mean, look at the legs on your fighters. But at least there was unique animations for each move.
They may have interesting walking mechanics, but the action was fluid throughout the game.
Although not treated like a Madden game anymore, where stores would literally just try to give you this game.
I don't think it's just Madden. I think it's all sports games.
I would still recommend picking it up for the going purchase price in most video game stores, not what's shown on price charting.
I am 100% in agreement with that. The game is great. The game is probably one of the best couch co-op games you can play with somebody.
There's a high probability that you can get out of there for $5. I'm actually going to give Tag Team Wrestling a great rating. Sure, Matt Mania may have had more opponents and better graphics, but gameplay consisted of repeatedly doing a shoulder block over and over again. In Tag Team Wrestling, the wrestling actually feels like wrestling.
Well, Cobrettie, I give this game a great as well. This is one of the best feeling wrestling games that you could play, especially in this era. This is one that you could play with a friend and have fun and feel like you were actually wrestling.
Will this game be able to dethrone Kenny Kuman as the tag team champion? That's a tough decision because Kenny Kuman is more of just dumb, plain, stupid fun.
Kenny Kuman is dumb, stupid fun. And it's probably one of those games where you just pop in and you run around and play and not really think about what you're really doing. Just mash buttons.
While Tag Team Wrestling is actually a better video game, but not as fun.
Well, folks, it looks like Cobrettie and I are on two different pages when it comes to fun.
But my love of Scorpion Deathlocks, Ensiguris, Lariats, and Brainbusters give it to Tag Team Wrestling.
And for me, with the dong of the bell to the head, the beast mode of the CPU, and your tag partner rescuing you from a hold, I give it to Tag Team Wrestling.
And as far as best budget game, you know what? I'm going to give it to Kenny Kuman and Tag Team Wrestling. Buy them for Japan for less than $1 each. Save yourself in combined shipping and get them at the same time.
I'm glad we're on the same page with that one, Cobrettie, because both are great games but played differently. So shop around and don't be scammed by those high prices. Thanks for joining us as we reviewed Tag Team Wrestling for the NES. Is Tag Team Wrestling one of your favorites? Or is it one of those games you didn't like? Or is it a game you didn't even know about? Leave comments below. Join us next time as we cover the 10 best budget wrestling video games.